Nice little division rivalry game tonight. How you feeling? What have you guys really been working on lately?
Yeah, we've talked a lot about like a full 60-minute effort and playing the right way and actually connecting. I feel like we've been a little dislodged through periods of the season so far. And obviously finishing has been a problem. But for the most part, it's consistency, 60 minutes of good hockey.
Yeah, actually, similar for us, a full 60-minute effort, putting in the work in front of Olmark and Forsberg, and just trying to stay consistent. Also being tougher on pucks. I feel like we can't just have Kachuk being the one running around and aggressive on the walls and stuff. So we're trying to get a little more consistency there, too. But, yeah, it should be a good one.
Yeah, that makes sense. Hey, would you consider this point to be about 2/3 of the way through our conversation?
Yeah, I mean, you got somewhere to be. Yeah, sure, 2/3. This could be 2/3 through.
Awesome.
I was looking right at him. How did he... Low quality fans of a high quality Bruins team. That is not a dub. No, it is not. I do apologize for the lateness of this video. Some stuff was going on yesterday, unfortunately. But I have a distinct feeling that not many of you actually want to relive this game. Just watched it. Watched it this morning. It's Sunday morning. Just watched it. Prepping for a little bit of football today. Football! The Patriots are bad. The Bruins might be bad. They might be bad. I know. You're sitting there going, might be, man? Might be? But hey, we're 7-7-2. We're going to talk about some positives at the end of this video because I was too negative last video. I don't know. I was in a mood. I'm only human. But I was too negative for coming off of a win. That was ridiculous. But we're not going to be as negative in this one. Even though there's things to be negative about, which we will be negative about, we're not going to be too negative. A little reminder for everybody, like, comment, subscribe. Nailed it. Thank you so much for those who are part of the YouTube membership program here. There's a link down below for that. But the support is just phenomenal, and I really appreciate you so very much, the high-quality inspectors as they are. Just love you guys. Really appreciate it. The Discord is phenomenal. If you want to check that out, link it below as well. That's just a lot of fun to be a part of. It's a great community in there that debate and talk about the games. They watch the games together. I unfortunately don't get to jump in and watch the game in there too often just because I'm oftentimes taking notes throughout the game and I get a little distracted. Hard to actually do both, converse and watch it the way I want to. The Boston Bruins were playing the Ottawa Senators. The Senators, who are a division rival, who... I don't know how this division is going to shake out yet, really. No one in the Atlantic, other than the Panthers, has really taken a stranglehold on a playoff position. So this is still wide open, which is kind of your first positive, guys. Like, that's a positive. The Bruins haven't lost a bunch of ground. We'll get there. But the Sens have lost 5 of their last 7. They're 4th on the power play. Bad news for us. 20th on the penalty kill. Doesn't matter because our power play is going to kill itself. 11th in goals for and 16th in goals against. They're a fine team. They're fine. Don't ask me what's in my cup. So, the Boston Bruins, on the other hand, we are going to stick with the same exact lines that led to a win last game. But real quick, Johnson, Zacha, Pasternak, Marchand, Lindholm, Brazeau, Kepke, Coyle, Patra, Beecher, Kostelic, Frederick, Zadorov, McAvoy, Lindholm, Carlo, Lohrei, Wotherspoon, and Swayman is a net. Geeky is again scratched. Peak is still week to week. Those lines go unchanged. Unchanged. Let's talk about this game. And I know a lot of you really want to get to the end to talk about a fun little thing that happened. Fun little thing. And we will get there. But to get to the end, we have to start at the beginning. So puck drops in 5:34 into a highly defended first. Kachuk is going for tripping. We're going to the power play. Shockingly, this blew my mind. The power play is still bad. I didn't see it coming, personally. I didn't see it coming. 1:33 left of the period. That's right, we're skipping all the way down because a lot of tight defending. The goalies had to make a save here or there, but not too much action in this one. 1:33 left. Interference by Elias Lindholm on a dump and chase play. It's a little contact there, but he goes down. We're going to the penalty kill. We lead the league in penalties taken, right? By a lot. Has anyone had a problem with the refs this year as a Bruins fan? Like, I'm sure there's fan bases out there that are like, the refs are killing us. But as a Bruins fan, and as a fan of the team that's most penalized in the league by a mile, I actually think the refs have done a pretty solid job. Like, there's certain things, goaltender interference here, things like that, but that I'm not pumped about. But as for years past, where it was egregious at times, so far, knock on wood, refs haven't been killing us. Like, it hasn't been the refs' fault. It's we take a ton of penalties and you watch and go, yeah, that's a penalty. I don't know, just a little sidebar there. So we're going to go on the penalty kill. 10 seconds left of the period. We're still on the penalty kill. The Sens get the puck low. McAvoy gets tied up with a Senator beneath the goal line and his stick gets knocked from his hands. So he's got to pick that up. So there's a little bit of time there, but everyone sees him there and he's still got a player on him. So that it's now a 3-on-4, right? The puck gets moved to the left corner where Coyle sprints over to engage Tkachuk there. Zadorov, as you'll see in this picture, is chilling in front of Swayman. Now look, stay there. Stay there, right? Your other defenseman is behind the goal line. You are the last line of defense before Swayman. Marchand, you'll see in this picture, is ready if the play goes up to the point to engage that. But Zadorov, in his infinite wealth of hockey knowledge, decides to sprint to the corner to help Coyle, just as Tkachuk is getting a little separation on Coyle. Now, the reason that this separation, in my mind, doesn't matter is because had you just stopped there and looked at who was around you for a second, you would see he has a play to make to the bottom of the right circle, and otherwise he'd have to sprint to the net, which you could, if he decides to do that and Coyle truly gets beat, you can engage him when he gets closer. He's still going to have the opportunity for that pass, but you've closed the distance. The angles are now more narrow. You increase your chances of disrupting this. But instead, Zadorov sprints to the corner. That leaves Norris all alone. All alone. McAvoy is still tied up. Coyle and Zadorov are now covering the same guy, not Coyle's fault. And Marchand's stuck in no man's land because he goes, shit, I had my play, and now I'm in the middle of nowhere. Now I'm in the middle of a triangle, which is useless because my other defender decided to take himself completely out of the play. Pass to Norris. Norris gets the free chance from the bottom of the right circle, and he buries it. Blocker side, it's 1-0 power play goal, 10 seconds left of the period. That's just the dumbest mistake. Like, that's so unbelievably stupid. This is the stuff that's killing you right now, where is the fundamentals? Like, basic defending. Basics. How do you think that's the play? This is a professional hockey player. This guy knows more about hockey than I will ever know. What the hell, man? Killing me. Killing me. So, 1-0. We're going to the second period. This is still such a winnable game. I'm not really that worried. I am frustrated. I'm watching that play going, that should never... Why are we... Fine, let's move on. Second period, 52 seconds in, too many men on Boston. We've been waiting for one of those, right? Been waiting for one of those. Kind of nice to see it get back to the norm. Go into the penalty kill, and we kill it. And then 4:51 into the second period, the Sens attempt to clear the puck, but Zadorov manages to get there and sweep it down the left wall. Pasta snags it and immediately gets it to Zacha, who's alone for a second right in front of Olmark. Defenseman comes in. Zacha spins, backhander, no look, glove side. Impossible for Olmark to really track this properly. And it gets by him glove side. It is 1-1. And then 15 seconds later, I don't know why I'm pointing at you, but the Bruins are going to get the puck deep. Hampus is going to collect it on the left wall after our forecheck forces that turnover. He's going to go straight for the net and collide basically into everything happening there. It's going to get stopped by Olmark, but as it gets punched out, Brazeau is fighting off two players. Let's do a little shout out for Brazeau as one of the few guys that consistently takes the body on the shift. He is manhandling his space. He's got guy on each arm, and he's going full Bufflin, if you remember him, Winnipeg Jet legend. And he just collects for a second and bats it across to Marchand, who has a wide open net. He buries it. It's 2-1, 15 seconds between the goals, and you're feeling good. You're feeling good. This is such a winnable game. You're defending well enough. Your penalty kill kind of screwed you there. You're not taking a bunch of egregious penalties in this game. Just keep it going. Continue to play strong hockey. Off the next faceoff, Giroux looks like he's high-sticked by Brazeau right off the faceoff. I don't know why this wasn't a call. I still don't fully understand it. They review it. They just walk away from it. We stay at 5-on-5. It looked like a high stick to me. Maybe Giroux leaned down. I'm not really entirely sure. But we're going to continue. It's going to be fine. 8:34 left. Zadorov and Carlo get caught flat-footed again. As, Pasta did kind of chuck it up into the air, and it landed on Johnson's stick. And Johnson, I think, had a chance to get this one deep, but decided to try to deke through a player. But he's also, like, that puck landed on a stick in the middle of 3 players. I have a hard time blaming Johnson for this turnover. I don't think he made the right play, but it's also like, you weren't in a great situation anyway. Puck goes the other way. Kachuk is going to skate right between Zadorov and Carlo. Zadorov gives him a good slash just for the funsies of it. Swayman still has to make the big save, which he does, and we are going to go to the penalty kill, and it's an excellent penalty kill. It's a really, really good penalty kill and a big portion of this game. 5:35 left. Bruins with a 3-on-1. Huge opportunity. We pass 4 times, lose the puck on the 4th pass, don't even get a shot out of it. You all, like, the collective sigh across Bruins Nation. Just bad. Just bad. 4:07 left of this period. Pasta is going to take a wrist shot on Ullmark. 4:07 left. Please remember 4:07 left of the second period. It's gonna be important. 2:44 left. The Senators come back into the zone during a slow line change by the Bruins, because one thing that has constantly haunted Monty's tenure, and maybe the Bruins as a whole for a very long time, we're really bad at line changes. We're just genuinely very bad at them. And I know every fan base gets to be like, that second period and a bad line change that led to a goal. The Bruins are just so consistently bad at them. But this is a slow line change for us. And Amadio, on the right side, right point of the offensive zone, is going to have the puck. And he's got McAvoy in front of him. And McAvoy's giving him way too much space. Like, let's start there. McAvoy, like, he's not attacking, but he's also not, like, covering a pass or anything like that. He's just in front of him by a distance. But he does get skinny to block the shot, and the reason they close their legs like that and get skinny isn't so that they don't get hit. It's so that Swayman can also still see the puck. So he's going to take away an angle, and Swayman's going to get to make the save, right? Amadio's going to shoot that. Zadorov was far less interested in helping his goaltender out. Far less. Because he sets a moving screen at the time of the shot. Swayman never sees it until it goes past Zadorov, who's 2 feet in front of him. That's a little exaggeratory, but like 4 feet in front of him. And it beats him glove side. And you see Swayman's head go to the sky, and it's 2 thoughts, I guarantee you. 1, damn it, I had that. And 2, Zadorov, what the fuck, dude? Let me see the shot from distance. Rather than, by the way, Zadorov wasn't chasing anyone. He didn't have a senator on his back. He was just setting a moving screen through a shot lane. Zadorov is directly responsible for the 2 regulation goals against. It's so bad. It's so bad. It's 2-2. 1:45 left of the period. Grieg is going to go for slashing. We're going to go to the power play. The best chance of this power play. I do this bit a lot, and I'm sorry about it, but the best chance of the power play was Giroux on a 2-on-1 from the left circle that Swayman has to come up with a huge save with dwindling time in the period. Bruins allowing late goals in the period is coming back, I guess. But he makes a huge shoulder save, keeps this 2-2 to go into the third. Going to the third, 12:13 left of the period. Kepke gets nailed by Jensen while he tries to spin around him on the wall. This one's a little worse, I think, than the Pasternak one where I defended Tanev, but still, it was a pivot at the last second. Jensen does nail him full numbers. It's hard when they're turning like that. No call made. I think it's still the right call. This one was a little more intense, so I don't know. But Kepke does return to the game later. He does get helped down the tunnel, but he would come back. Even scarier, 7:30 left. Marchand with a weird stumble, non-contact. Looks like his leg buckled or something like that. He's slow to skate back into the play, and that's worth monitoring as well. It seems to be fine. There's no new news about that, but that was a weird moment that I'm a little nervous about. Game's going to end 2-2. Well, sorry, not the game, but the period. We're going to go to overtime. 13 seconds into overtime. Elias Lindholm, cross-slot pass, gets a shot on Ullmark. And that will mark 24 minutes and 20 seconds between shots for the Boston Bruins. Do you remember 4:07 left in the second? Yeah. I cannot, and I didn't hear the stat during the game or anything like that. I don't know the last team to go a full period without taking a shot on net. I don't know if it actually does happen a couple times this season, because I don't remember seeing that. 24 minutes and 20 seconds without a shot on net. And they needed a 3-on-3 to get a shot on. Shot attempts? Sure. Nothing made a goal mark for the whole third period. You went into a third period tied against a team that's 5-7 in their last 5-7. 2-5 in their last 7. They're 1-5 in their last 6 games on the road. You went into that third period tied against that team and couldn't muster a single shot. On the ensuing play after that shot in overtime, Tkachuk is going to beat Swayman from the left circle blocker side 3-2 overtime loss. So you're upset, and I'm upset, and I get that. Because they went a whole period. I mean, I am struggling right now because I want to be respectful of the players and the coaching and the professionals. Because I don't like being that person who's just some random dude on YouTube that's insulting these people who are at the pinnacle of a profession. And, I mean, make no mistake, any single player in the NHL is at the pinnacle of their profession, right? Like, these guys are unbelievable talents. The worst hockey player in the NHL is worlds better than the next guy. Like, that's just a different level, man. I know that there's fringe guys and stuff like that, but you know the point I'm making here. 24 minutes is kind of pathetic. Like, that's the thing, is that's disrespectful to say. It's also accurate as fuck. That's pathetic that you went 24 minutes without managing a shot on net against a team like the Ottawa Senators. I don't get it. And I'm going to get to some positives here. We're going to do game notes. But the first game note, before we do positives and negatives, we're going to go back and forth. But before we do those, Monty, after the game, needs an answer for that. I know it gets repetitive. Buddy, we watch every single game. We talk about every single game. We know it gets repetitive. We get it. The reporters ask about it. They ask what the issue is. Why you couldn't muster a single shot through a whole period of hockey. You don't get to sit there and say, that's for you to figure out. You'll comment on the malaise of the team. I'm not quoting, I'm paraphrasing, but he literally did say that's for you to figure out. Like, no, it isn't. This guy hasn't tuned out. I don't think he's just checked out. I don't think that. You have to have an answer there. I don't care if it's repetitive or what. You have to have an answer there for what happened and why your team went 24 minutes without a shot on net. You cannot just brush that off and act like the reporters are a bunch of bullies who are crapping all over you and the team and your job. It's kind of their job to comment on the team, and when the team does something like that, what do you want them to say, man? You don't get to pout and act like they're the problem. You have to have an answer there. I was stunned by that. Stunned. Now let's get to a positive. About Monty, by the way. This team is 3-1-1 in their last 5. A week and a half ago, we were begging for that, right? Yes, the way we lost 2 of those games isn't super fun, but they're 3-1-1 in their last 5. You give me that the rest of the season, we're in the playoffs, baby. That's a positive. And I want that to be held a little bit because we have not lost a bunch of ground in the playoff race. We're worried about a playoff spot, right? We're not worried about top seed. We're worried about making the dance. The team hasn't lost any ground over the last week. In fact, they've probably picked it up a little bit with a 3-1-1 record. Positive news. A negative. Zadorov is such an unbelievable problem defensively, both at even strength and the penalty kill, and he plays almost 19 minutes a game. I actually like a lot of what he does on the blue line of the offensive zone. I do. But he gives it all back the other way. Whether it's laying a big hit that actually takes him out of the play, whether it's a low IQ play that takes him out of the play, whether it's any occurrence that takes him out of the play, or the plethora of penalties that he takes because he gets caught flat-footed all the time. It's not even the big guy tax. It's It's just bad hockey. That contract continues to just look awful. So unbelievably bad. Which is, you can start putting attention on Sweeney as well there. Just brutal. That's oh, it's brutal. Brutal. Another positive. Wotherspoon has been quietly solid. The better he looks, or the less you pay attention to him because he's doing his job, the better you feel about the long-term health of the back end. Because he's your 7th D. Peak will come back. Peak was doing fine. Like, he's a bottom-pairing guy, but you need those guys. And when injuries come around, you feel good about Wotherspoon stepping in. So that's a really big development. Not a development. We saw that last year too. But I'm pretty happy that has continued. A negative. Every hockey team has low points through games. An 8-minute period here where you just can't seem to get anything going offensively. A 6-minute process here where you just pinned in the whole time. There's a variety of moments through a game, give and take. This team has low points that last 20 plus minutes consistently. Not the 0 shots in 24 minutes type, that's a whole different level, but the 0 strong scoring chances across 20 minutes does happen relatively frequently. That is a concern, and one that we're well versed in. We understand, we've been watching it, we know that that's happening. It is something that desperately, we have to find a way to shrink those occurrences. I'm fine if you have a 6-minute period where you didn't get a shot on net, because that's how a hockey game goes sometimes. 20 plus minutes without a real scoring chance? Fuck out of here. Come on, man. A positive. Brad Marchand has 5 points in his last 5 games. Hell yeah, brother. Love to see it. That's important. That's very important for this team. A negative. Line changes continue to be an issue. And it's basically been the entirety of my life with the Bruins that the line changes are bad. It's just a weird thing to be bad at, I think. It's a weird thing to be consistently bad at. Everyone makes a mistake with a line change sometimes. It's a weird thing to be consistently bad at. A positive. Swayman's game, it's coming back. Swayman stole a point for us in that, especially with the third period, all things considered. So he is slowly showing more and more that he's locking in. Hell yes. That's going to also be huge. If Marchand's scoring nightly, and not scoring, but getting on the box score nightly, and Swayman's going off, we're in better shape. We're in a lot better shape. 3-1-1 in the last 5. The last negative, and I hate that I landed on a negative to finish this off because it's just the way the numbers worked out. Elias Lindholm still doesn't feel like he's built any chemistry with literally anyone. The guy's just there. At 5-on-5, Lindholm has 1 goal and 2 assists. Neither of those assists are primary, meaning he didn't make the last pass before the goal. He made the pass before the pass to the goal. So basically 1 primary point, which is a goal at 5-on-5 through 16 games. On the man advantage, he has no goals and 3 assists. None of those assists are primary. At 3v3, he has 1 primary assist, and at 4v4, he has a goal and a primary assist. So the lower number even strengths, he's been doing fine at. He hasn't built anything with anyone. And as critical as I was about the contract and about his ability to be a 1C, I did say before the season, the contract's going to be whatever. And he's a fine second-line center. He's not a great one, but he's fine in that position. And right now, I'm starting to question if even that is feasible. That being said, shooting percentages are low across the team. Finishing's a problem. I don't notice a ton of moments for him that are super positive that just aren't coming to fruition on the box score. But there's still time. They're 500 basically. They're still in the mix. I'm not going to crucify the guy yet. I'm way more down on Zadorov than I am Elias Lindholm right now. And I think that's genuinely fair. All that being said, the whole game, everything, this is a long video, rambly video. It's okay. 3-1-1 of your last 5 is important. That's an important week to have. We took advantage of some easier matchups. Beat the teams that you're supposed to beat will go a long way. Yes, there's plenty of negatives to dive into. But if we can keep a pace of consistently going 3-1-1 or 2-1-1 or just a point percentage that's 600 plus, 60% plus, then we're going to be fine. The long-term outlook for the team and how competitive it could be in the playoffs is certainly a concern, but right now, let's start with step one. Can we have a consistently winning hockey team in the regular season? Which we've done years past. We continue to hear comments from players about how, well, winning in October hasn't really done us that much. And the team just has to build. They have to build on something. And I thought we were, and that third period felt like 3 steps back. Because even with the loss to the Leafs, and even with some of the bullshit in this game, I just felt like 5-on-5, we've been continuing to build something, little by little. This is a tough one. It feels like a couple steps back. It's not the end of the world. It's not the end of the world. There's positives you can take from this. We're all right. This team's not a juggernaut, but we're all right now. And I think it would be good for all of us to kind of just go, okay, all right. Like, we're not underwater yet. We're still treading water. We're still there. Let's see how this shakes out. That's just my opinion on it. And I'm sorry for being so negative 2 videos ago when I did the last game review. And I'm also sorry for how late this was. Like, comment, subscribe. Nailed it. Go Bees. Go Bees! Of course, we have to give a huge thank you to everyone who's supporting this channel, especially the high-quality inspectors, our top-line tier members, Chris and Erica, Jeff with a G, Tommy Braga, The Bugman, Roland22, GD Viperworks, Len Cruz, Moonlighter TV, Brock Nope, Han Slomo, Coach D, The Atomic Lizard, Bradley Johnson, Aaron Adams, Brett Arney, Pincent, Adam Ella, Big Bad Bruin, and Nick Zatrullo. Thank you all so much for supporting the channel. You're all studs and studettes. And of course, a huge thank you to the Stallions, our all-star tier members, Joel, Doots42, Heil E. Coyote, Darren Woodbury, Abraxion, John Kirk, Michael DiPaolo, Wolf Warrior, Vinny, Adrian Winter, Tupton D. Tashi, Nightmare Eco, Bruin Smash, DeKingery, The Only Newts, A Tasty Snack, Boston Stringler, Matthew Gallagher, Dash Riprock, Jacob Pratt, and Jeremy. You are all absolute legends. I appreciate you eternally. And as usual, go Bees!